My name is Mike Betzler. I'm a police lieutenant at Saddleback College, Southern California in Mission Viejo. The campus itself is approximately 200 acres. It's been around since the 1960s. Currently, we have approximately 25,000 students, but full-time equivalency is probably closer to 7,000. As far as Saddleback College and the city of Mission Viejo, we tend to be in a very safe environment, a very safe community, but still safety and security are primary concerns here. One of the reasons that the Saddleback College chooses to have its own police department is because of its focus on primarily student, faculty, and staff safety. We tend to not have a lot of incidents here on campus, but anytime we do have an incident, it's a major concern here. And part of the reasons that we looked at doing access control came out of concerns from faculty and staff here on campus.
Ensemble and Saddleback have been long-term partners. I've been on board for 3.5 years, and since I've been on board, we've executed several projects, and they've always been a positive outcome. They are one of our high-valued customers here in the higher ed space in Southern California.
My name is Chin Leung. I'm the senior software engineer at Imron Corporation, and I work on the Unity IS software, which controls Saddleback's access control system. There were 3 groups involved in the decision. One which was the police department, another was FMO for facilities management, and the other was IT. They had differing needs, but they all sat down together to decide, hey, this is what we want out of the system. What can we do to make all 3 of us happy?
So when we considered that safety system, we listened to our faculty and staff and the concerns they had about safety. If you look at your greatest threat, which is probably an active shooter, the worst thing that come upon campus, if you look at it from that perspective, the ability to lock the door in an emergency situation is critical.
Police wanted something that the staff members didn't have to go outside their room to try lock it with a manual key and get injured or something else happening there.
One of the things that we gained with the electronic access control system is we took existing technology that was already built into the hardware and software, and we leveraged that. I believe in the industry they call that a privacy lock. What we did is we took that button and we made that an emergency button.
Switching the event over is just a configuration setting in our software, so any event in our system can be configured as an alarm. For Saddleback, they chose to use the privacy button and repurpose that to be a duress button. So they raise the alarm, and when that happens, it pops up on a map for their dispatcher to know where to send a unit.
And it does 2 things. One, it locks the door and it locks out all other electronic access control cards with the exception of first responders, that's law enforcement. So anytime we receive a single depression of a button, we consider that emergency and send 1 uniformed law enforcement officer to go resolve that. Now, if we receive 3 or more in a localized area, we would immediately lock down that building or potentially the entire campus, and we have the ability to do both or either. And then we would send multiple officers over there to that location to resolve the issue. And then one of the other features that we have built into our system is an all unlock feature to unlock every door in a building or every door on campus to allow free access to fire personnel and emergency medical personnel to rescue people in an emergency, which I think is a key feature and something that you obviously could not do with any mechanical devices or mechanical hard locks.
Facilities wanted to get rid of keys, or as many keys as possible, because when an employee retires or leaves or even loses their key, then technically to be secure, they would have to go and rekey every door that key had access to. That's a lot of work on their side, and they're not even sure. Maybe someone made a copy of it somewhere. They don't know. So they wanted to restrict the physical key access to a very small set of people.
If you needed a hard key in the old days before we had electronic access control, you might wait several weeks to get your hard keys issued to you, and there was an approval process that had to go through and identify which keys and which doors you needed to get into. With electronic access control, your card is actually automatically loaded with the most basic of access. When you become an employee here, you're given all access to the exterior of instructional buildings and all classrooms.
IT, which would eventually have to pretty much handle all of the electronic access control, wanted a system that was easy for them to manage, that they didn't need specialized knowledge to go out and reset or something like that. So this led to it being a PoE-centric system.
What the IN220 offers is, for one, it's an integrated lock set What that means is you have a request to exit, the door position switch, obviously the card reader, and then the hardware, all integrated into one unit on the opening. So what that creates for the deployment, installation, and commissioning is a much easier, simplistic way to deploy the unit. In addition, there's one network cable that powers this unit. This is a PoE solution, so it does mitigate all of the necessary panels and power supplies that you would find in traditional access control opening.
One of the things that they are looking to do in the future is to add web browser capability to their dispatched units or their police units, so that after hours, when there's a reduced police presence, the officer on campus can monitor the campus better. They can cover more ground, since they will be able to see what is going on the other side of campus from where they are, from their police vehicle.
What I like is the overall collaboration. Imron has been a fantastic partner in assisting with keeping that train moving forward in regards to updating features and maintaining a high level of integration with our hardware. From the Saddleback side, it's been really awesome to see everybody come together and make the vision a reality for the campus.
So as we go forward, we created a standard for the entire campus, and every time we do a new construction project, every time we touch a building or touch a door, we want to make sure that it has the latest in technology, meets our current standards for electronic access control. So as you can imagine, it's a constant process. It's not a destination. It's really an ongoing journey that we work on every day.